What is up, everybody? Today we're going to have Who Would You Rather Have? So today we're going to be doing something. We're going to do Who Would You Rather Have / a nice little start sit. This video we're going to talk about two players. We're going to
players that are around the same value for fantasy football.
Yep.
Talking who would you rather start this week or who would you rather have long term in fantasy football?
Yeah. So let's get straight into it.
Yeah, right into the video, ladies and gentlemen. No playing around. Actually, I'm going to play around. Like the video and subscribe.
That's facts.
Our first start sit / who would you rather have? Trevor Lawrence or Derek Carr. Now this week Lawrence is playing against the Houston Texans and Derek Carr is playing against the Kansas City Chiefs.
All right.
So I'm going to start. Who would I rather start this week?
Yeah.
My answer for that, I would say I would rather start Trevor Lawrence.
Okay.
I would personally rather start Trevor Lawrence. He's my start of the week. Go check out that video, by the way. But long term for fantasy football for the rest of the season, it's crazy because I don't want to go purely off recency bias of these last couple weeks because Lawrence has been doing really good. But I think I am. I think I am going to go off that. I think I'd rather have Lawrence for the rest of the season.
All right. So for me, I'm going Derek Carr both ways. I like Derek Carr, and once he starts airing out the football,
oh yeah, his production is going to start going up.
And that's how I feel. I feel like his production is going to start going up. This is a great week to start doing what he's supposed to do, and that's airing out the football. And when you have Devontae Adams, Matt Collins, Darren Waller, you have
Renfro coming back.
Hunter Renfro, but I like Derek Carr a little bit more than Trevor Lawrence. Just based off of the players that are around him. Then that goes into my long-term answer. But for this week, Kansas City against the Raiders, and I feel like in order for the Raiders to win this game, they're going to be throwing the football a lot. You'd expect him to sort of start coming back and rebounding. So I'm taking Derek Carr.
So now on to our next question. Now, Aaron Rodgers or Jared Goff?
So I'm going to go Jared Goff.
Okay, I'm going to agree with that one.
I like Jared Goff.
Me too.
He is my start of the week. He's a good player. And whatever they got cooking in Detroit, it's not wins. It's definitely not wins. It's not wins. But he's getting a lot of offensive yards. A lot. Well, even when he's not dropping 40 pieces on the Seahawks, I feel like he's still going to get you those points that you need. I'd say I'd probably realistically start him over Kirk Cousins.
So I'm going to get a quick gauge on Jared Goff. So obviously, I'm taking the main quarterbacks. I would rather have Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts, Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow. Tom Brady is a question mark.
Yeah.
That's where we're at on Jared Goff right now. Tom Brady's a question mark. So that should give you a good range. I would rather have Goff than Wilson.
Yeah.
I would rather have Goff than, as you said, Cousins. I would rather have Goff than Lawrence. I would rather have Goff than, let's see. Obviously Rodgers, as we just said. What are some other quarterbacks out there that you think are around the same range as Goff?
Carson Wentz.
I would rather have Goff.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, so this one is based off this week. Dameon Pierce against the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Okay.
Or James Conner against the Philadelphia Eagles.
I'm personally going to go Dameon Pierce.
I'm going to agree.
I'm going to take Dameon Pierce in this game. He had his breakout last week.
Yep.
He definitely had his breakout. He broke off a 75-yard tutty. It was a great run.
Biggest touchdown play of this week, by the way.
Yeah?
Yep.
So, Dameon Pierce, he got a lot of hype this offseason.
Yeah, a lot of it.
And he started off slow. But that's expected for rookies.
Yeah.
They're going to start off slow.
So, Dameon Pierce, like you said, he broke out this past week. Rookie running backs tend to get better and better as the season goes on. And the matchup this week against Jacksonville, I think it's not the greatest matchup, but it's not the worst.
No.
So I think I would have, and also James Conner on the other side. James Conner's been disappointing this year.
And he's playing Philadelphia.
Yeah, exactly.
So Dameon Pierce, to me, is the person that I choose this week.
This one is rest of season.
Okay.
Now, this could be partially biased because I have Najee Harris in our league of record.
Yeah.
And I'm nervous.
You're a little nervous?
So rest of season, this is the point I've come to. Josh Jacobs or Najee Harris?
I'd say, so this week is going to be a telltale sign about where these players stand. So Josh Jacobs had
a great week last week.
Great week. And he started off slow. But if he goes into next week and even if he gets 15 touches, even if he gets 15, they've seen how good he did last week. And I feel like if they continue to feed him at least 15 touches a game, I feel like he's a little bit more of a safer option compared to Najee Harris, because the Pittsburgh Steelers are kind of in shambles right now.
And I'm glad that you said that. I'm very glad that you said that because so last season, Najee Harris's rookie year, he didn't have those blow-up games for fantasy football. He was purely a volume play, and he had a very, very safe floor. Yeah. Like pretty much every week last week every week last year for half-point PPR, he was scoring like 15 points here, 14 points here, 17 points here. Like he rarely had games where he was hurting your fantasy team, but he also didn't really have those games where he was breaking out and having those great like week-winning performances. Yeah. And so this season we've seen that scaled down because first of all, this offense is not as good. The offensive line is not that good at all. And he wasn't very efficient last year, and he hasn't been very efficient this year. And Kenny Pickett coming in could possibly mean good things, but it could also possibly mean bad things. But at the same time, how much worse can it get from Mitchell Trubisky?
It can't.
It can't. So it's interesting, bro. It's interesting because Najee, like I said, he's a volume-based play in most weeks. Yeah. And his volume has scaled back just a tad bit from last season, and his touches are also lower value than they were last year. He's not getting as many red zone touches, which is crazy, bro, because we thought that these quarterbacks were at least going to be better than Ben Roethlisberger was last year, bro. But no. And this offense just looks bad, bro. And hopefully Kenny Pickett, some way, somehow, which is going to be hard to do because he's a rookie quarterback, hopefully he can somehow inject some type of life into this offense.
But for me, I'm going to go Josh Jacobs. Next week, I feel like I would have been a lot more confident in that answer, but I'm still going to go Josh Jacobs. Okay.
I don't know, bro. I don't know what my answer is to this question. Najee's been
not good.
He's just been super mid. Super mid. Not getting very many touches. I mean, he's not getting high-value touches. Mm-mm. He's not getting receiving work.
He's not breaking off long runs.
Yeah, he's not. And it's like, I want to pick Najee Harris, bro, because, like, my brain wants to tell me Najee Harris. Yeah. My brain does. But as of right now, Jacobs has a much higher ceiling, which is crazy to say because Jacobs isn't really a ceiling player.
No, he's not. He's a floor player.
So I'm going to go Jacobs as well.
All right. So, wide receiver time.
Wide receivers. Okay, this is interesting. This is very interesting. So I'll say this will be a rest of season one. Okay. Chris Olave or Christian Kirk?
I like this one a lot, actually. So we have Chris Olave, young rookie, plays for Jameis Winston. But we also have Christian Kirk, who is really shown that maybe he was rightfully paid that money. I don't know. It's up for you guys to decide.
He's been good this year.
But I like Christian Kirk. I feel like Christian Kirk gets those targets every single week. And when Trevor Lawrence is on his game, Christian Kirk is his target. Yeah. And I believe he had like 10 targets.
Yeah, like he's been getting 2 to 3 games.
So I feel like Christian Kirk has that volume and he has the chance to do what he has to do. Because he catches the ball. When the ball is thrown to him, he tends to catch it. He doesn't drop the ball very often. So for me personally, I'm going to go with Christian Kirk based off of his volume. And he's a little bit more established. But on the flip side, I do like Chris Olave for a flex play on a week-to-week basis.
I agree with all the points that you made. I do. I agree with all the points that you made. Christian Kirk is safer. Christian Kirk is more established. He's Trevor Lawrence's go-to guy. He is. But I'm going to say for the rest of the season, I'm going to go out and I'm going to say I want Chris Olave. Okay. Because I think Chris Olave is trending up. They spent high draft capital on him. He was a first-round pick out of Ohio State. His prospect profile was very good coming out of college. And I believe it's trending up for Chris Olave. I think Chris Olave is looking like a very talented, very explosive player. And with Michael Thomas being banged up already. Yeah. That's the one thing that's interesting to me is Michael Thomas is banged up already. And I think as the season goes on, well, Chris Olave is already very, very involved. And I think that's only going to grow. And so I'm going to take the potential of Chris Olave more than Christian Kirk right now.
That's fair.
I would rather have Chris Olave. So now this one's interesting. I'm going to say this one is for this week. Okay, yeah. This one's for this week.
For sure this week.
Yeah. So Marquise Brown against the Philadelphia Eagles, one of the best defenses in football, or DK Metcalf against the Saints.
That's hard.
It is.
Very, very difficult. Marquise Brown. He has been up and down, but so has DK Metcalf.
Yeah.
They've both been very up and down. And that's the thing.
Because so far this season, we've seen the ceiling of Marquise Brown.
Mm-hmm.
We've also seen the ceiling of DK Metcalf. We
Yeah.
also saw him getting carted off the field to go use the restroom.
He had to take a poop.
So, yeah. So, for this week, this is very interesting. I think this is arguably the hardest hitting question of this one.
I'd agree. But realistically speaking, I'm going to go with Marquise Brown.
Okay.
This week, I'm going to go with Marquise Brown. So I feel like this game is either going to be a straight dud from him. It's going to be the fattest dud you've ever seen. 2 points if we're very unlucky. But I also feel like this could be like a nice little like 15 points for him. You know, he catches a touchdown. He breaks off a few chunk plays. I don't know about DK Metcalf. I'm very, very on the fence about DK Metcalf in this point. I like him as a player, but just what's going on, I don't know. I can't trust him. I just can't. So I'm going to take Marquise Brown this week.
Okay. I'm super torn on this one.
This one's a hard one.
Super, super torn on this one. So on any other given week, I would say Marquise Brown.
Yeah.
The only thing that's making me nervous is he's playing the Eagles. I think I'm still going to go Marquise Brown.
I'd agree.
I'm still going to go Marquise Brown. I think the volume's going to be there. He is still the number one pass catcher on this team. They should most likely be trailing in this game, so Kyler Murray's going to have to be throwing the ball.
Good.
And Marquise Brown is the number one option on that team.
Mm-hmm.
James Conner isn't running the ball very effectively, and they're not really looking to the run that much. And their other pass catchers are obviously Zach Ertz, but
Andy Isabella, who just got cut, by the way.
They got Rondale Moore.
Yeah.
They got Greg Dortch. It's I'm going to go Marquise Brown. So now we got some tight end questions.
The tight end.
So, should this one be rest of season?
Yes.
Okay. Rest of season. Darren Waller or TJ Hawkinson?
Okay. So, Darren Waller is poised to have a breakout week.
Yes.
Anytime. He's due.
It has to.
He's due, realistically speaking. Hawkinson had his breakout week. Go ahead.
Okay, so this is the one thing. This is the one thing that is a little bit... I don't know how to explain it. Because I don't want to take his performance away from TJ Hawkinson, because obviously we know TJ Hawkinson is a very, very good tight end, super talented, and he's always been very good.
Yeah.
The one thing is that last week, Amon-Ra St. Brown wasn't playing.
True.
So obviously that opened up a little bit more target share for TJ Hawkinson, and he was a little bit more involved. Now, obviously, when Amon-Ra comes back, TJ Hawkinson isn't just going to be forgotten about.
No.
But it is... we saw that ceiling without Amon-Ra St. Brown. So when he does come back, is Hawkinson going to have the same ceiling is my thing that I'm going through right now.
That's the question. That is the question. So, I'm going to hop straight into my answer.
Okay.
So, I like Waller for the rest of the season, but I like Hawkinson for this game.
Okay.
And I like both players a lot. But I do feel like Waller is going to have that. He's going to get that floor back that everybody loves about him.
Yeah.
He's going to get that floor back. It's just, when is it going to happen? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But will it happen? Yeah. I do feel like it will happen. So what are you feeling?
It's a tough one, bro. This is another really good one that I'm super, super interested in. And I'm torn. I'm really on the fence right now. But I'm going to go with